Fam, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Wanted to recut a video, got cut out on the internet earlier during my live. So what we are watching on Saturday is the commitment of Derek Meadows. At 6'6", 205 pounds, he's an elite wide receiver out of Nevada. He's the #1 player in the state out of Bishop Gorman. I would love to see him being added to this class for several different reasons. I like your wide receivers like Latsier Brooks. He's like an H. And you get your bigger wide receiver on the outside. We're also watching for a potential announcement at some point in time for Caleb Cunningham. It seems to me that he's a little bit more of an Alabama lean as opposed to Derek Meadows, where I think it's kind of up in the air. Now, I asked a poll inside the comment box during my live, and to my surprise, a lot of people feel that he is going to announce to Alabama. If you do have an announcement time, please drop it inside the comment box. I would greatly appreciate that. But we are watching Derek Meadows on Saturday. Another very talented wide receiver is Caleb Cunningham. As I just mentioned, he's a 5-star. I think he's going to be a member of this class. Mississippi has some outstanding high school football players this year. A.K. Deere, another one of those players out of Mississippi. It seems like Caleb would want to be a part of this class. Can you imagine if Alabama does get Derek Meadows, they get Caleb Cunningham, they add on Latsier Brooks already, and maybe you get even a Khalik Lockett. That wide receiver class would be phenomenal. And I think under Coach Jamarcus Shepard, like, why not want to play for somebody like that, who has that energy, who wants you to be a taker? Really excited about what Alabama has in store. We'll be watching on Saturday for Derek Meadows. So I asked you inside the comment box, and I'll ask you again, type A, B, or C if you think one of these wide receivers will be next to commit to Alabama. If you feel that multiple wide receivers will commit, type A, B, and C, or just type B and C. I want to get your take. If I had to vote right now, I would probably go with B or C. I don't know. Like, I don't make predictions, but I haven't seen one of the bigger names in the industry say, that Derek Meadows is going here or there. Probably the only person that knows that is someone like Hayes Fawcett, a guy who breaks all the news. So we'll just have to sit back and watch on Saturday. We talked a little bit about the Alabama offensive line. Sometimes I bring up these graphics. I cook all of these in-house, so if you see an error or an omission, just let me know. But as you can see in detail, Alabama's offensive line, I love the way they look. And I think that this group particularly is going to be more lean, more trim, more agile for this coming season. There's a photo floating around on social media, and you can see right here that the players look more trim. From left to right, you got Parker Brailsford, Joseph Ionita, Wilcom Formby, Tyler Booker, Caden Proctor, and Olas Alanen. Now, I would imagine that the trainer right there in the middle is not 5'2". These are large men. As you know, Parker Brailsford ranked as the #1 player in NCAA football with a 92 overall rating there on your left. Look at Caden Proctor. He is next to the trainer to the right. I'm serious. Like, he looks more trimmed down to me, in my opinion, and I can't wait to see his athleticism this year compared to last year, because I felt a lot of his, the times that he struggled, it was because he was going against more athletic players on the defensive side of the ball. Now, look, I get it. Edge rushers are always going to be athletic, fast twitch guys, but you have a player like this. I just felt he was overweight last year, and I think that slowed him down. Let me know if you agree inside the comment box. When we kind of zoom in and look at what the Alabama offensive line could look like, Caden Proctor, Tyler Booker, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilcom Formby. Now, I think going into this season, we all know that there's probably going to be strong competition at that right tackle position. And if Formby can hold out against Miles McVay, credit to him, because Miles McVay is an absolute monster, and I think he has a promising career here at Alabama. Jaden Roberts and Tyler Booker, I think, are going to be two of the top guards in all of college football. Parker Brailsford, as you know, high hopes for him, and Caden Proctor more slimmed down on that left tackle position. And let's call it what it is. I think Caden Proctor is going to come back and get that starting spot. He already admitted that the grass isn't greener. We move forward from that, and can't wait to see him this coming season. Here's a look at the Alabama defensive line, and when we kind of zoom in and kind of go in detail, you'll see that Tim Smith, Jamarian Latham, Tim Keenan, those guys are the vets, along with Jaheim Otis. Now, Jaheim Otis is a player I'm really interested to see this coming year. Could he have a bounce back year? I know he was injured. He probably lost too much weight. But now he's back, and I'm curious about him. Same thing with James Smith. I think he's a very talented defensive lineman, and LT Overton. And as you know, in this 4-2-5 offense, what you're going to have is the bandit position. And when we talk kind of more of the intricacies of Alabama's defensive line, and in this particular clip, I actually added the wolf, which is the edge position. Think about William Anderson or Dallas Turner. Let's kind of zoom in and talk about what I'm trying to explain. So you have Jamarian Latham, who will be this bandit position. As you can see, not a 300-pound type guy, but more athletic, right? And he'll be at that bandit position. Probably that's where we're going to see Keon Keeley, and we're going to talk about him as well. LT Overton, the transfer from Texas A&M. Big Tim Keenan. I love the story about Tim Keenan. He's an in-state guy. I think that his ceiling is very high. To be honest, and I said this on my live show, I didn't think that Tim Keenan would get here. When he got here, he was 380, maybe 390. You remember him out of Ramsey, right? In-state guy. To see where he's at and to see the level that he played last year, credit to him, the trainers, his coaches. Man, that guy has worked his tail off to get to this level. He's probably one of the most underrated defensive linemen in the SEC, in my opinion. Tim Smith, I think there's going to be a lot of competition at that position. And then I added the Wolf. So when you think Wolf position, these are going to be super athletic guys. There's going to be so much competition. I didn't even add Yanzi Pierre down there, but Q-Rob, Keanu Ko, Quay Russo, like those guys, that the competition, I think the tackle position on offense, I think at the Wolf position, and I think at corner is going to be fantastic going into the month of August. I can't wait to see it, honestly. Even going into the first couple of weeks of the season, I think there's going to be a lot of competition. Now, I brought up this graphic, and I want to talk about Keon Keeley, kind of a spotlight, if you will. Now, Keon Keeley, it was one of the most interesting storylines of the spring season was Keon Keeley being moved from, the Wolf position, the edge position, to now a bandit on the defensive line. Now, here's a quote from Kane Womack earlier this spring. When you look at Keon, you see his frame and how he's developed, Womack said. He's got the frame, and that's going to grow into more of our bandit role for us. I think we can all agree that one day Keon Keeley is going to be in the NFL. I stood right next to him at the Rose Bowl. The guy was a monster. Same thing with Jahad Campbell. Like those guys are going to be in the NFL sooner or later. In my opinion, I don't know how much playing time Keon Keeley is going to get this season, okay? But I think next season, in 2025, if he can stay patient, him and Yanzi Pierre, you could have the most dangerous combination at the Wolf and bandit position in all of college football. I get it. There's a lot of top-tier players at Alabama, and you have to be patient. I really hope that Keon Keeley and Yanzi Pierre get some reps this year. I don't know if either of those guys are going to start, but I think the more quality reps they get, they are going to eventually get on the field and be an absolute tandem. And these guys will be NFL players as well. Yanzi Pierre, I mean, don't sleep on that guy at all. These guys are former 5-stars for a reason, and it takes time. The brand of Alabama football is ultra high, and all you need is a season or two to really show that you can play at the next level. Plus, these guys are going up against elite talent every single day. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I pour my heart and my soul into each of these videos. I cook up all the graphics. I'm a one-man show. Please hit the thumbs up if you like Alabama football. I appreciate you guys more than you know. My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I will catch you as news happens. And, really just want to say thanks to all of our subscribers out there. And think about becoming a fan funder. A fan funder literally supports me and this YouTube channel. So if you hit the hyperlink, which is thumbtacked in this video, only $2.99 to support the product right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube.